Page, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Charm
Good
TV.
morning.
Good morning. The Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City proceedings will begin. The board is now in session. Mr. Chairman, preliminary matters on the AM docket.
Yes, we have
Case-
one. Go ahead. I have one preliminary matter.
Sure.
I
Thank you,
wanted
Mr.
to announce to everyone that the board has hired a new Deputy Executive Secretary. Michelle, would you come forward? I want to introduce you to Michelle Wurzberger, who is replacing Nick Blendy, who moved on to another position. Michelle's been with the city in many capacities over a number of years. She's a very experienced, good attorney and is going to be of great assistance to us. We look forward to working with you. Did you want to say anything?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair, for that warm welcome. Thank you for your support. I just want to say thank you to Doug and the team who have very warmly welcomed me to the office. This is an awesome team. I'm very excited to work with them, and I'm eager for the challenge.
Well, thank you. We look forward to working with you, and I think you're right about our team. They're quite good. They're also. Okay, let's proceed, Mr. Page.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Case number one on the docket, 729 West 40th Street, Suite 101. This matter has been postponed and will be recalled for another date and time. Moving to case number two, Mayfield Cafe, 3500-02 Harford Road. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, an application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under Article 12-1603, small c, number 1, small I, requiring $200,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities and seating capacity for a minimum of 75. A request for outdoor table service. Please come forward.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Commissioner Stephen W. Fogel on behalf of the applicant, Austin Allen.
Good morning. Would those who wish to testify in this matter raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Mr. Fogelman, you want to tell us about this?
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Allen has opened a cafe at 3500 Harford Road. He's got a petition and support from his customers, many of whom are neighbors. Mr. Allen needed to consolidate 3500 and 3502 in order to enlarge the space to accommodate more than 75 patrons, serving breakfast and lunch at this time, and I think dinner is in the works. Yep.
Correct. Well, yeah, full menu, lunch, dinner is in unison.
And this is Mr. Allen.
And what's the cross street on Harford
It's
Road?
Harford and Lake Ave.
Are you
Mr.
still?
Chairman, I'm sorry, is Mr. Allen going to be sworn in?
He was.
Was he? Okay,
Yes.
sure, thank you.
Are you still in what they call Lauraville there? or
No,
is
it's
that-
Mayfield.
Mayfield, okay. Okay. But they're sort of close, aren't they?
Correct, just across the bridge.
Okay.
So I'd like to introduce the petition.
It will be received.
Also have, unfortunately, a single copy of his menu, sandwiches, breakfast platters, et cetera.
Okay, that will be received.
Next, I want to submit a summary of his capital budget. I do have multiple copies of that.
Again, will be received.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Austin lives in the community, and he is aware that this is a neighborhood or a block that he shares residential neighbors with. He wants to make sure that he keeps the premises clean inside and out, no trash problems, keeping noise down, and also making sure that any patrons who step outside, they're smoking or whatever, don't disturb the neighbors as well. I'd like you to hear from his background. He has been in business in various capacities, very successful small businesses. It's always been a dream of his to have a cafe, and this is the culmination there, of that dream.
Did you say it's open or not?
It is, without,
Without alcohol?
exactly.
How long have you been open?
We opened, the first day was July 21st, 2023.
And Mr. Allen is still working with the community. who is here today regarding an agreement. I think that both sides are in agreement on most of the terms. A lot of times, the discussions end up focusing on operating hours, and those are still being worked out. So given the statutory requirements have been met here, both with the $222,000 capital investment, the 75 seats. So I do think that there is public need and desire for this license. And with that, I'd be happy to turn it over.
Let me hear from Mayfield. Ma'am, you represent the association?
Yes, I'm Janelle Cousineau. I'm with the Mayfield Improvement Association.
Spell your name.
Janelle, last name Cousino. I'm representing the Mayfield Improvement Association today. By the way, between 32nd Street and Chesterfield, there's only one half of a block that is commercial, and it's on the west side of 3500 block. There are approximately 3 businesses there, and then the convenience store, which we call the inconvenience store because it doesn't really have anything, and they just play Keno all the time. But we were thrilled to see a cafe come. We were surprised at some of the information we received about their liquor license request. We received information from them directly on January 4th. We talked a bit, but at the same time, we included a public information and request people to comment on the application on January 12th, and we had like 80 responses. Some of them were thrilled, and some of them were very concerned, especially the people who live nearby. And we felt that a memorandum of understanding would be a very good thing to have attached to this license when it is issued.
Have you begun that process?
We have discussed it. We haven't had complete agreement yet.
Has
a
Matt been
mutual.
working with you?
Matt has done an orientation to the board before we met with Austin so that we had some information about it in advance. And we shared a list of concerns to talk about. So it wasn't a position, it was more of a, here are things we should talk about. And we got some answers back that we thought were inappropriate, I guess, because it didn't really allow for conversation about it. It was a hard and fast, yes, we'll be closed by 2 a.m. At least that's how I read it, but he's now suggested that was for private parties. But that still seems too late for a residential area, really. There are very few businesses in Mayfield. The owner lives in Mayfield. There's another business operating in that same set of suite offices. And she lives in Mayfield, and Austin lives in Mayfield with his wife,
So
Natalie.
where are you with the negotiation?
We've had some back and forth. We've had some back and forth. I'm pretty confident we'll come up with something, but we do have people who have had legitimate concerns about how it'll impact the area. And we would like to have them be successful, but also to have it be still a very nice neighborhood that people want to live in and not have any trouble with, especially takeaway drinks. But that seems to be the most important item that people are concerned about.
And if you reach an agreement, are you willing to have the terms be part of your license?
Yes, I agree to that.
Okay. So you understand, ma'am, that if he reaches the agreement with you and it's made part of his license, that if he violates the agreement, we can violate him and bring him back then?
Yes, we understand that. We appreciate that. I have a different letter to offer you
Okay.
if this is in fact agreed upon. I have 5 or 6 copies here.
You always carry one opposed and one in favor?
Well,
when you
no,
come-
we had,
I'm
well,
teasing you.
the person who drafted it wasn't going to be able to be here, so she gave me both.
Okay, that's fine.
But I had to upload before I had this agreement, all right?
All right, so this will be received. So this, in this one, you're not opposing any longer, supporting it contingent upon the completion of an MOU, okay. And you're willing to continue to engage in the MOU discussions? Okay. And where is Matt? Is he going to continue to facilitate? And we have, why don't you come up for a second? Let's swear Mr. Ockheimer in.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the answers that you give in the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So Matt, are they making progress? Are they going to have a good shot at getting something done?
It sounds like progress is about to happen.
Okay, all right. Did you have anything further to add?
No, I just want to say that, you know, he is a resident of the neighborhood. I think it's essential for business owners in a community to have good relations with those stakeholders in the community. However, I don't want the board to approve this subject, you know, to a signed MOU, because,
Well-
as you know, both sides have to say, it's an
I agree,
agreement.
but I can't imagine that there aren't some things on which you can reach agreement.
Absolutely. There
So
are.
I'd like an MOU on all those things you can agree on. And then if there's a dispute about something, we have to see where that goes. But, you know, if it comes down to hours, you know, we don't control the hours on the licenses, the legislature does. If they meet all the other criteria, we usually grant the license. Then if they abuse that, we can come back in and impose sanctions for them. But try to work something out that benefits the community and benefits them so that they can make a good living, but not be a thorn in the side of everybody there.
Well, that's our hope.
Okay. Did you have anything else?
No,
Commissioners
thank
have any questions?
No questions.
All right, thanks. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
And with great encouragement to keep going and see what you can do to work this out. So on the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, the testimony received, and all the exhibits received, including this letter from the Mayfield Association, which gives a conditional approval to this, I vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with outdoor table service. When there is an MOU in place, which I am anticipating, it will be subject to the terms of that MOU to the extent those terms are enforceable by law. Commissioners?
Yes. Mr. Chair, based on the materials and testimony and the exhibit provided today, also vote to approve, subject to the MOU, an application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license, and also the request for outdoor table service.
Based on the materials and application proffer made by council, testimony given today, and the evidence admitted, I too vote to approve this new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with outdoor table services, I guess, subject to the terms of the MOU as enforceable by law.
Ms. Russell?
Michael Exhibit for the record. Board Exhibit 1, letter of opposition from Mayfield Improvement Association. Board Exhibit 2, 29 emails in opposition. 3, petition of support. 4, menu. 5, capital investment. 6, revised letter of support from Mayfield Improvement Association.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yes, all right, thank you. Okay.
The Hangout, 2-4 East Preston Street. Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. An application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under Article 12-1603, small c, number 1, small I, requiring $200,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities and seating capacity for a minimum of 75 people, requesting off-premise catering. Please come forward.
Counsel?
Abraham Hurdle on behalf of Golden Grills with a Z LLC. If I may, I would like to proffer and move
Okay.
this along. I have a couple things this afternoon. I apologize. With me is Ms. Fonesca, well, both Fonescas, sorry. And they are the licensees in this application. Rifka Fonesca is to my right. They have a food truck. They've been running it for a handful of years. They found a location that meets their requirements and also doubles a bit as a commissary. So it works out very, very well for this 2 to 4 East Preston location. We have reviewed the rules and regulations of the liquor board. We met with Mount Vernon Belvedere, Mr. Dana, and a couple of other people probably about a month and a half ago when they were still building out. Everything looked very good. I think an MOU was finalized over the weekend. No need to put any of that stuff, I guess, forward. That I think the copy has been sent, and we do agree to have it be a part of the license as restrictions.
We have a letter from Mr. Dana in support.
Mr. Dana was wonderful to work with, as was Mount Vernon Belvedere. There are over 75 seats. I do have a very significant appraisal of the real property as a whole. And since that time, they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on build-out, well in excess of the $200,000 for that space. There's a huge fire hood in the kitchen there, which must have cost $50,000 by itself. In addition, they've spent significant money on tables, chairs, kitchen equipment. We had to lower a section of the floor in the kitchen to make sure everything worked for the proper heights for the sprinklers. So well in excess of the $200,000 has been spent. They are actually open today and have been for about a month, is that right? Still doing the food truck as well. They understand that licensees have to be on premises or managers that are approved with the liquor board. And they're actually hoping to buy liquor from a wholesaler tomorrow. They can do a pickup is the goal. We've been turning in documents all week. I think we're missing a trader's license.
And they're willing to have the terms of the MOU be part of their license.
Absolutely.
Anything further?
We'd love to talk about the food, but I'm in a rush and I apologize, so
That's okay.
we'll do that next
But
time.
what's the nature of the food?
It's American Comfort, so it's like sandwiches, soups, we also do bowls, we do
Who's,
salads as
Mr.
well.
Chairman, who's speaking?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can speak to it. It's American comfort food. It's wonderful. I've actually had a chance to taste it on a couple of occasions. Fantastic stuff. Highly recommend it. Mr. Dana is already working on getting planters and lights for the street. They're really excited to be a part of the community.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council and the exhibits received, I vote to approve this application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with off-premises catering.
Yes.
Subject to the terms of the MOU to the extent those terms are enforceable by law.
Yes, based on the materials and testimony provided today, in the terms of the MOU and the letter of support from the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association, I also vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license, and also the request for off-premise catering.
Based on the materials and application, the proffer made by council and evidence submitted, I too vote to approve this Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with off-premises catering, subject to the terms of the MOU as enforceable by the law.
Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit Number 1, letter of support from Mount Vernon Belvedere Association.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Bamboo, 1010 Alexander Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. This is an application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service and request and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street. This is an application transfer an existing business. The business has been there for quite some time. It's on the corner of Alisand and Central Avenue. Ms. Wang here with her husband owns another restaurant in Millersville since 2019. Similarly, have not had any problems, and they've been in the last 6 months. The reason it would take a little longer to get here, when they originally filed, they tried to do things on their own without counsel, which always is a no-no, as you know.
I
okay?
agree.
And they put in their UNO without the outdoor table service, so we had to reapply, and now we've got the outdoor table service approved. All the people that'll be handling alcohol will be alcohol certified. She'll be fingerprinted, and she's familiar with the rules and regulations of both the Baltimore City Liquor Board and also the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board, and they have no problems in that location.
And this has no history of violations, I'll add for the record. The commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kadensky. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and any exhibits that are in evidence, I vote to approve the application to transfer this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license with outdoor table service and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes, based on the materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service and and also the request for delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the application materials proffered made by council today, I too vote to approve this transfer of ownership of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license with continuation of outdoor table service and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bullpen Sports Bar and Grill, 508 Washington Boulevard. This is a Class D beer and light wine license. An application to transfer ownership from contract purchaser requesting outdoor table service. Please come forward.
Thank you. Good morning. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Roberto Cruz.
Do you want to proffer for us?
I will. This is Ravenstown right now, but come February 13th, pitchers and catchers report to spring training, and we'll turn orange again. And the bullpen is sort of that little bar that could, between two bigger bars, beer and wine only. Mr. Cruz has managed Rosina Gourmet on Canton's Square for several years. He's owned food trucks, and he's excited about this opportunity to be a part of the Camden Yards community. He will be alcohol management trained, as will his servers, and he's excited about the opportunity.
Again, I don't see any history of violations. Commissioners have any questions?
No, I just got one statement, Mr. Chair, is that looking at the report and the pictures, I see that there's quite a few liquor signs that's in the window, and I think am I correct, that's a violation, having liquor signs on the window out front?
Yeah, I believe that was the prior ownership. Not much has changed from that property since prior owner filed bankruptcy.
So that'll be changed now, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and any exhibits received, I vote to approve this application, transfer ownership of this Class D beer and light wine license from a contract purchaser with outdoor table service.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership from a contract purchaser and also to request outdoor table service.
Based on the application materials and proffer made by council, I too vote to approve this transfer ownership of this Class D beer, wine, and light wine license from a contract purchaser with outdoor table services.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you. HM Management LLC, 909 North Charles Street, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Nicole Lacoste Folks. I'm an attorney at Gordon Feinblatt, and I'm representing the transfer applicant here in this case. And their name, as you can see from the application, they're a Rhode Island entity, which is HM Management LLC. When they registered to do business in the state of Maryland, they are registered to do business in the state of Maryland as HM Management Latrobe LLC. So that's explained in the name. I have with me Ms. Pamela Hanner. She will be on the license. And I have here with me Mr. Carlos, and I'm going to have him say his own last name. I'm showing him his card as if he doesn't know it.
Okay, you folks raise your right hands so be sworn, please.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state your name, or spell your name rather, since you just stated it?
My last name is spelled Orihuela.
And I submitted to you his business card to help you with the spelling as well. Okay, good, thank you. So this is an application for a transfer from HM Management, HM Fayette Liberty LLC to HM Management Latrobe LLC. And the prior liquor license holder had applied for hardship because they are still in the process of renovating this restaurant. The restaurant, the building, it's the former Mount Vernon's Stable and Saloon, which I'm sure you're familiar with in Mount Vernon on 909 North Charles Street. And I'll have Carlos, because I cannot say his last name, speak to what the progress is of the renovations. But the transfer will continue the renovations, and there will be an opening in the near future. My client expects to be able to open to the public this year.
Are the owners or members of the LLCs the same?
No.
No, but you said they're related and stuff?
Well, so Ash is the New York developer. They're the developer of both Hotel Ulysses and of the 909 North Charles Street property. So when they purchased 909 North Charles, it was HM Fayette Liberty. There's different membership there. And now they're transferring it to a new entity to hold the liquor license so that there'll be different entities owning the property and the liquor license.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
Carol, you want to stand here so they can speak into the microphone?
Absolutely. Thank you. We're on schedule to open the space on April 1st. Initially, it will be opened as a event gathering space for weddings, private parties, birthday parties, things of that nature, corporate meetings as well.
We'll clarify the relationship with the hotel.
Yeah, so it's basically the same owners. It's two different parcels, but it's going to be owned by this, it's already owned by the same people, and I'll be managed by myself as a GM of the hotel.
Okay, and will those who handle alcohol all be alcohol certified?
Yes.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, you said when do you think you'll be opening?
It'll be open to book private events as of April 1st, and we expect to open to the public before the end of the year.
Okay. And we have a letter from Mr. Dana in support, is that correct?
And you should have also
An MOU?
MOU between the Mount Vernon Community Association
Yes.
and the proposed transferee. And Ms. Pamela Hanner here, she's the city resident, and she is alcohol certified.
Okay, and the MOU terms will be part of the licenses?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, and there's no history of violations here, so on the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, the testimony received, the exhibits received, including the memorandum of understanding with the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association, a vote to approve this application transfer ownership of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license subject to the terms of the MOU to the extent they're enforceable by law.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today with the MOU and the Mount Vernon Belvedere Association, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of a B beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on application materials, proper made by council testimony today, any exhibits that have been admitted, I too vote to approve this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, the transfer of it, subject to the terms of the MOU as enforceable by law.
Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, letter of support from Mount Vernon Belvedere Association. Exhibit number 2, MOU.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank
folks.
you.
Thank you.
422-26 South Macon Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership from a secured creditor. Please come forward.
Good morning, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, and Commissioners. If I may proceed by way of proper?
Yeah, you want to identify yourself for the record?
Yes, Craig Schwartz on behalf of the applicant.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. This is a transfer application. The license is currently held by a secured creditor, JM and RM LLC, which is the owner of the property. They took the license back as a secured creditor from the prior operator, El Rincon Troncolino LLC, which was defaulted on their lease and was a problem licensee. I think they had a number of violations.
This has a long history of violations.
Yes, it does. And the purpose of this transfer is to preserve the license so that we can identify an operator that the community is satisfied with and is a contributor to the community. The applicant is Macon Opco LLC, and Ms. Mangafula Minadakis, who I have here with me today. The plan is to operate the business on a limited basis to preserve the license. We actually have a letter of intent from a prospect, which is a very good operator. And Ms. Minadakis is a Baltimore City resident. She's a member of the LLC applicant. She's an authorized person to hold the license. The proffer of her testimony would be that the application is true and accurate, and that she's a resident of Baltimore City and does not have an interest in another license. She has a wealth of experience as an operator, actually at this location when it was once Calliope's. She ran it there with her late husband for 25 to 30 years. And more recently, she operates or works at Jimmy's Seafood, which is her family's restaurant. And she will be responsible for overseeing operations. She is alcohol awareness certified. She does have a copy of the rules and regulations and is familiar with those and understands the need for compliance. There should be in the board's file a letter from Greektown Neighborhood Association from Ian Wolf, which evidences their support for the transfer and does mention that when we do identify a permanent occupant, that we're going to enter into or require that tenant to enter into an MOU with the association. I also received just yesterday a letter from O'Donnell Square Homeowners Association. That may not be in the board's
I
file.
don't know if we have it. We'll receive it.
Thank you.
And that letter, too, expresses their support for the transfer under this application, and again, looks forward to entering into an MOU once we identify a permanent occupant.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Schwartz. On the basis then the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, the letters of support from the Greektown Neighborhood Association, as well as the O'Donnell Square Homeowners Association, I vote to approve this transfer of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license from a secured creditor.
Yes, based on materials of testimony provided today, and letters of support from the O'Donnell Square Hometown Association, and also a letter of support from the Greektown Neighborhood Association. I vote to approve, with the MOU, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership from a secured creditor.
Based on the materials and application proffered made by council, exhibits entered, including the letters of support, I too vote to approve this transfer of ownership from a secured creditor of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license subject to any MOU that's agreed to.
Ms. Russell?
I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, letter of support from Greektown Neighborhood Association. Board Exhibit 2, letter of support from O'Donnell Square Homeowners Association.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mount Vernon Liquor, 815-17 North Charles Street, Class A, beer, wine, and liquor license. This is an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter A. Previs on behalf of the applicants. This is Mr. Chang K. Yim, and to his right is Ms. Stephanie Corelli, who is the city resident
Do you
applicant.
want to proffer or have them sworn?
But proffer.
Go ahead.
We had previously filed an application for this purchase and sale for CNY Enterprise LLC that was approved. And while we were trying to get the transfer checklist done, our then city resident moved to Miami. So we had to kind of fall back and regroup, and Ms. Corelli has now come off of another license and has most graciously agreed to be our city resident.
Are you moving to Florida?
No.
So everything is done. We should be able to use most, if not all, of the prior paperwork, since it was all there except for, I forget what the piece, the fingerprints of the guy in Florida. So, but Mr. Yim and his wife, Chang Kei, I'm sorry, your wife is Young, I'm sorry. I've only known her for 25 years. Young Yim is still coming off of another license for the old Linden, so, and we needed a city resident. Mr. Yim lives in my neighborhood. Anyway, most respectfully request that you approve the transfer.
And we have no history of violations, I don't believe, at this
No.
facility, so.
And I believe our MOU from the prior transfer application is still in effect.
Okay, so this would also be contingent on that?
Yes.
All right. Commissioners?
No questions.
No questions.
Thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and the existing MOU, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license subject to the terms of that MOU to the extent they're enforceable by law.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today with the MOU, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of a beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on a proffer made by council, materials and application, and according to the existing MOU, I too vote to approve this transfer of ownership of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you very
Russell.
much.
No exhibits for the record.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Three Doors Down LLC, 300 West 30th Street, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering. Please come forward.
Abraham Hurd on behalf of 3 Doors Down. With me is one of the licensees and one of his associates who works at Dutch Courage, which is on North Charles Street. The location in question is 300 West 30th Street. This is known formally into, I guess, Baltimore folk as the Diz typically. These guys are looking forward to taking over. They're looking forward to running the place a little bit different, but certainly within the restrictions. We have a letter from GRIA, which
We
we
have it
have,
here.
and a letter,
Letter from Councilwoman Ramos.
I also have a letter from the House of Delegates.
You do? Hot off the press.
We do not have an MOU at this time. I'm not sure we're going to have one. The community is very much in support. Mr. Foy has been working at Dutch Courage for some time, and it's a well-received, well-established location. They do a really good job. If the community ever asks for an MOU, we'll be happy to engage with them, get one put together, and have it put on the license. We don't anticipate that being a thing. I think they're very excited.
We don't
to
have any
this
history of
property.
violations. at this-
No. I'm not sure I have anything else to add. I think they're gonna run a really
Commissioners
nice,
have questions?
nice location.
No question.
Oh, no questions.
All right. Thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and the exhibits, which include letters of support from the Greater Remington Improvement Association, from Regina Boyce at the Maryland House of Delegates, and from Odette Ramos from Baltimore City Council, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continued outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, and also the letters in front of me from the Greater Remington Improvement Association, and also from Councilwoman Odette Ramos. I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service, and also a request for off-premise catering.
Based on the materials and application proffer made by council, the exhibits, which are the letters of support that were admitted, I too vote to approve this transfer of ownership of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continuation of outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
Ms. Russell?
Like all exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit No. 1, letter of support from Councilwoman Odette Ramos. 2, letter of support from Greater Remington Improvement Association. And 3, letter of support from Regina Boyce, House of Delegates, in support.
Thank you. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Frankfurt Garden Liquors, 5418-20 Sinclair Lane, Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Abraham Hurd on behalf of Alish Inc. With me is Ms. Chowdhury. This is an A-licensed liquor store. It is in a plaza, as I recall. They will be open the regular hours till midnight, 6 days a week. We don't plan to change much other than to restock the inventory so that we can get a little better clientele, a little better volume of business. Ms. Chowdhury has taken alcohol awareness. She plans to card all patrons using the point-of-sale system as the way of doing so. She's been alerted that all orders have to be placed through a wholesaler, so if she runs out of, say, Jaeger on a Friday night, it may be till Monday before she can restock, possibly at the wholesaler or via delivery. Otherwise, she's aware of the rules and regulations of the Baltimore City Liquor Board and looks forward to operating soon.
This location has run into trouble lately selling to minors, so you have to card everyone and be very careful. You understand that? Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. Based on the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Yes, based on the materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on the materials and application and the proffer made by council, I too vote to approve this transfer of ownership of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Ms. Russell?
No, that is for the record.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Good luck to you.
4220 Edmondson Avenue, Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Abraham Hurdle on behalf of AAMA Chori LLC. With me is Ms. Thappa. This is a similar situation. This is a liquor store in a plaza. They plan to operate 6 days a week, closing at midnight unless there's a legislative restriction. There is no MOU. We have not heard from the community in any capacity. Given the commercial nature of the area, we're not sure the community will reach out. Should they reach out, we will engage with them as we always do, and would agree to have that MOU be restrictions on the liquor license. I did speak with Ms. Thappa about similar issues in the past, which is to say, no service to minors, making sure the point-of-sale system does that check. It helps with employees. Everyone who's been serving or working as a cashier will be alcohol awareness certified as well. They plan to restock the inventory, try to bring in a little more volume, and look forward to operating soon.
As Mr. Hurl indicated, the past problems have been sales to minors, so they have to be very vigilant about identification, to make sure that you're not selling to people underage, you understand? Okay, commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application and the proffer from council, I vote to approve the application to transfer this Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license with delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and also the request for delivery of alcoholic beverages in a Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on the application materials and the proffer made by council, I too vote to approve this transfer of this Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license with requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
No, that is for the record.
Thank you. Good luck, ma'am.
Fadley's, 112 North Utah Street, stall 21, Class D, beer and light wine license. This is an amended application to transfer ownership and location of the Class D BW license presently located within Lexington Market to 112 North Utah Street, stall 21, requesting outdoor table service and off-premise catering. Please come forward.
Good morning, Caroline Hecker, Rosenberg, Martin, Greenberg, on behalf of the applicant. I have with me Laura Mozina, who's one of the individual licensee applicants. Mr. and Mrs. Devine were not able to come this morning. They are elderly. Mrs. Devine, unfortunately, is sick with pneumonia. This is their daughter, Damie Hahn, who's also very involved in the operation of Fadley's. And with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to proceed.
You may, but I think we've heard this with the exception of the outdoor table service and
That
off-premises
is
catering.
exactly right. This may sound very familiar to you. And just procedurally, what occurred is everybody knows Lexington Market is under a massive renovation rebuilding, and Fadley's is being relocated in connection with that. So we had filed an application to transfer the license to their new location in the new market shed. Unfortunately, the construction has taken much longer than anybody anticipated, and the board approved the original transfer in March of 2023. That was, valid for 180 days. The board approved an extension of that for an additional 90 days, which got us to the end of last year. Unfortunately, the construction it's taking longer, and we just in fact learned this morning that there's a major piece of equipment that we need that won't be delivered until March. So we're hopeful to be open in March, but we had to file the amended transfer application in order to keep the transfer application pending. And start the clock over on that 180-day period. We did amend the application to include the outdoor seating area, which candidly, I can't recall why it wasn't included in the first place, but there is a 48-seat outdoor patio area adjacent to their stall space that will be included. It's shown on the floor plan that's included in the file that I handed out. Everything else is identical to what the board saw last March when the board approved this originally.
Thank you. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis then of the materials contained in the amended application, the proffer from council and the exhibits contained in the file that was submitted this morning, I vote to approve this amended application to transfer ownership and location of this Class D beer and light wine license presently located within the Lexington Market to 112 North Utah Street, stall 21, with outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class D beer, wine, liquor license presently located within Lexington Market to 112 North Utah Street, stall 21, and also the requested outdoor table service and off-premise catering.
Based on the amended application proffered made by council, I too vote to approve this transfer ownership of this and location of this Class D beer and light wine license. It's located at Lexington Market to 112 North Utah Street, stall 21, with outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
I should have added that you have a clean record as well, so. Ms. Russell?
Michael Exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, Business Plan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck. Hope you get your construction done.
Third time's the charm, I hope.
Keeping all the fingers crossed. Thank you.
10-30 West North Avenue, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. This is an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment. Please come forward.
Good morning. Stephen W. Fogel on behalf of applicant John Renner. This is the former wind-up space, now known as Club Car. It's an inclusive space. We've got local bands, local craft beers, local cocktails. It's received some very favorable press recently. Mr. Renner, at this time, doesn't want to change a thing, and he has a career in development. He lives here in Baltimore City and is excited about the opportunity.
We have a letter of support from the Central Baltimore Partnership.
Thank you.
And I don't see any record of violations at this location. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. Mr. Fogelman, on the basis of the materials contained in the application and proffer from council, the exhibit received the letter of support from Central Baltimore. I vote to approve the application to transfer this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continued live entertainment.
Yes, based on materials and testimony provided today, and the letter of support from the Central Baltimore Partnership, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment.
Based on the application materials proffered made by council, exhibits admitted, including a letter of support, I also vote to approve this transfer ownership of this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continuation of live entertainment.
Ms. Russell?
Michael Exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, letter of support from Central Baltimore Partnership.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr.
Good luck.
Renner.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, we now move into the request for hardship extensions. Smalley's Tavern, 1525-27 Ramsey Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Request for hardship extension under Article 12-12-2202. Please come forward.
Good morning. You, Mr. Safran?
Yes, sir.
Would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you.
So you sent us a letter in November saying that you're trying to sell the license, is that
Yes.
correct? And that's why you want the extension?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any luck?
A couple, but nothing. Everybody says it, but nobody comes forward.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis then of Mr. Safran's letter to the board of November 13, 2023, his request this morning, I vote to approve his request for a 180-day hardship extension.
Yes, based on materials and letter from the licensee, I vote to approve the request for hardship extension of 180 days.
Based on the November 13th letter and statements made today, I also vote to approve this request for 180-day hardship extension.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, guys.
We're now moving to the 90-day transfer hardship extensions. 2036 Eastern Avenue, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Request for a transfer hardship extension under Article 12-1705, small b. Please come
Good
forward.
morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the licensee, James Williams. The 180 days expired around December 12th. We had some type of mix-up in communication with the health department and couldn't get that by December 12th, whatever it was. We got it in January. All paperwork has been filed with the board and the $200 transfer check. The board's policy is they can't transfer unless and until the board approves the transfer. So it's all done and ready to be picked up if you give this your blessing.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Previs. On the basis of your requested, the letter of request of December 11, 2023, your proffer this morning, I vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this BD7 license.
Yes, based on materials and letter from the attorney, I also vote to approve the request for transfer of hardship extension of 90 days.
Based on your proffer today and your, Mr. Previous, your letter of 12/11/23, I also vote to approve this transfer hardship extension for 90 days.
Thank you
Ms.
very
Russell?
much.
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you.
Allura, 1001-03 North Charles Street, Class BD7, Beer 1 and liquor license. Request for a transfer hardship extension under Article 12-1705, small b.
Good morning, Stephen W. Fogelman. Pursuant to the terms of my letter, the request for 90 days, I'll let the letter speak for itself.
What's going on with these guys? So Allura's closed?
Yes.
And did their other venture over at Cross Street didn't go?
No, are you talking about Xander's?
Aren't they the same guys who opened the Villegas place over at?
That I just don't know, unfortunately. So,
Okay.
in this one, yeah, we're just asking for, what was an additional 90 days? I think it's now down to about 60 days.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fogelman. On the basis of your request of December 5, 2023, and your proffer this morning, I vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this BD7 license.
Yes, based on materials and letter from the attorney, I also vote to approve the request for transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Based on your letter of 12/5/23 and proffer made today, my council also vote to approve this transfer hardship extension with Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license for 90 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
Thank you.
Thank you all. It's good to
Thanks.
see you. Appreciate it.
482 South Bentelow Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Request for a transfer hardship extension under Article 12-1705, small b.
Abraham Hurd on behalf of L. Burgess LLC. Is it Bentaloo or Bentaloo?
Depends on where you live.
Sorry, I'm not a Baltimore guy. My apologies. This is a request for a hardship extension. We're trying to rectify a gap in the permits. This location has always had live entertainment. The liquor license reflects live entertainment. The current use permit of the seller/existing licensee does not reflect that. That's a changeover as of 13 when live entertainment, I believe, became a requirement for the use permit. We have a zoning hearing, I believe, February 20th. We're hoping to get that resolved and go from there.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
Thank you. On the basis then of Mr. Hurdle's letter to the board of December 27, 2023, and his proffer this morning, vote to approve a 90-day transfer hardship extension for this BG7 license.
Yes, based on materials and letter from the attorney, I also vote to approve the request for transfer hardship extension of 90 days.
Based on Attorney Hurdle's 12/27/23 letter and his proffer made today, I also vote to approve this transfer hardship extension of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license for 90 days.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good day.
Mr. Page, does that complete our docket for today?
You're correct, Mr. Chairman. There being no further business before this board, the board is in recess until Thursday, February the 8th, 2024, 10:30 a.m. We are adjourned.
As always, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.